What's up, everyone? So today's video should be pretty easy for me to make and hopefully explain. But all I'm doing is repairing a rod tip for the first time. And this is the rod tip. It's just a fly rod, my grandpa's fly rod. He asked if I could repair it for him. And I said I'd try. I watched some videos on it. Doesn't seem too hard if you have the right stuff, which it's easy to buy at like Walmart or something. But I'm just doing this just in case people want to know how to repair a rod tip, don't want to have to buy a new rod, or just do something for fun. Alright, so this is kind of setup I work with. I also kind of make rods, not really. But in another video I'm going to show how I'm going to make a fly rod. It's for my grandpa as well. But as of now, this is what I'm working with. I got my supplies, broken rod. Just kind of show how this works. So normally rods are hollow. You can see a little hole at the end. If your rod breaks, you'll see that's hollow. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this paper clip because it fits inside of that hole. Kind of works as a brace. I'm going to like clip it probably about that far. And if you were to do it on your rod and maybe you broke it a little further down, it's a little wider, you could also maybe find like a nail to kind of insert in there to make it fit, or maybe another broken rod that you have. Just kind of help keep it up, make it a brace. But what I'm gonna do first is I'm going to sand both the broken end and the other broken end, kind of make them flat so they line up pretty easily. And then I'm going to use these and just cut off what I need. And then to be a little bit more fancy, you don't have to do this, but I'm going to show both ways. I'm going to just wrap around the brake after I put it together and then epoxy. But I'll kind of show how you can kind of do it both ways without the string and without the epoxy roller. Alright, so I switched to my GoPro just so I have both hands, but so like I said before, I'm going to sand down the end of both ends of the rod just to get rid of that jagged end and make it flat. And that's what I'm going to start with, is just kind of making that look flatter and fit together pretty well. And it should be pretty easy with this because it's a pretty small piece to be working with. Alright, so there's that end, pretty flat. And then I'll work with this other end. Also make it flat. Alright, now we got that, and they should just be able to pretty easily go together like that. No like problems with any breaks or jagged ends. Alright, so now that that is done, I'm going to grab my brace, which is just a paper clip. I'm going to cut it down to where I want it, which is probably right here. Probably need to also sand that down a little bit just to, if it works, kind of get rid of that sharp pinched end. Alright, that's good enough. Now, I'm going to stick this in there. Kind of should stop because it doesn't want to go any further. And then I'm going to put my other end in here. Make it a little bit, it's a little warped. So I need to try to make it as flat as I can. should put line. And then I should slide down like that. And that's pretty much the brace. It works. It's not as flexible like if it didn't have that in there, because that paper clip's a little more sturdy than just the rod, but it should do. Alright, so this is a different part of the day. I had to go do something earlier, so I'm wearing something different, but to kind of get back on topic. So now that I've got that put back together, I don't know if you can see, it's right there. I'm going to show the epoxy process. So here's my stuff right here. So I'm using, I'm not showing the epoxy process right now, but I'm going to explain it for anybody that is not using string like I am. Where's my string? I already got my string right here. So pretty much, if you don't want a string, or if you don't have string, all you pretty much need to do, since in my case it's a little break, you either, whenever you go to a store, it comes as a, it's already paired together. Like, it looks like this, but they're like already two of these things already together. But I got this off Mudhole. If anybody wants to know what you get, if you want to get stuff for making rods, you go over there. And I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but that's obviously not sponsored. But yeah, so you pretty much, I only need a little bit, but you just put a little bit of each, the same amount in here, and just stir it up for like probably 2 minutes, I think, 2 to 3 minutes. Stir it up, and then if you're not stringing, what you don't really do is just evenly just put it on this, and have it elevated too if you can. So like, I have these rod holders, but it's kind of, keep it elevated. Don't lay it on a table. It might look a little runny on one end when you look at it later, but it's whatever. It'll hold the rod together, and that's all that really matters. But I'm going to do something a little extra and show how to use string if you end up wanting to use string and then epoxy. Alright, so now I got this set up for the stringer. You see if you can't see it, I'm sorry, but it's for the cracks right here. So if you kind of want to focus right here, you can, but I'm not really going to do a demonstration on how to start it up. If anybody watching wants to know how to do it, you could probably just type that in the comments or something. But I'm just going to kind of start going ahead to kind of make this video as short as possible, because I do talk a lot. I'm trying to remember how this works, because I actually haven't done this in a while. Make sure you go like over. I'm not really gonna explain it too much. I'm doing it the wrong way. So you kind of start wrapping the opposite direction that you want to go. 3 times, you do 3 wraps. I might do 4 because it's so thin. I'm gonna do 4 wraps the opposite direction that I'm going. And when you wrap it around 3 times, or 4 times in my case, because this is very thin, you cross over the string, like so. I don't know if I'm explaining it, but it's because I'm going slow for myself, so I can. And when you cross it, and you start twisting, what should happen is when you're twisting, that string that you crossed over will start to get buried underneath the string that you're wrapping when you twist. So when you start twisting, yeah, it should stay on by itself now. Yep, so I can let go of that. I want to keep wrapping a little bit further down with this string. It's not the most hidden, but it's alright. This is just a little repair. Keep wrapping a little bit more.
And then when I want to cut the string, I will cut it.
Finding a razor right now. Alright. I got a razor. Also came with this mud hole set.
Pretty much all I'm gonna do is just find the end that I want to cut. Just right here.
Easy.
And I'll just keep wrapping. Kind of keep this as even as I can. Just kind of keep wrapping down and cover the break. Make her look good. This will hopefully kind of help keep this thing together. Alright, and now that's done. No, oh wait, hold on. I'm trying to think real quick. I want to pause the video because I need to remember how to end it. Alright, I just watched the video on how to finish wrapping. So I found it and figured it out. So what I do now is I just grab another extra little string. It's called a pull-through string. You should do a different color when you do this to not confuse yourself, but I just have this extra string from earlier. So what I do is I'm gonna put this pull-through string right here. Kind of keep that loop. You can see there's a loop right here. You want that loop. And then you keep wrapping. Just wrap around that. It's okay. Do it five times. Alright. And once that happens, it's wrapped around there. You want to hold your wrap as tight as you can, because when you cut the string, it could unravel. So I'm going to cut this. I'm going to get this pull through. I'm going to put my end through that pull through loop. I'm sorry if you guys can't see it. Alright, it's through that loop, and I'm going to keep my fingers on this until I can pull this string pull it all the way through. Like that. Now it's pulled through. Alright, and then this should hold. Just cut it down as far as you can. That's what, it's not the prettiest. I could say that for sure. But that's what it should look like. Good enough for a repair. Alright, so now I do have I did plug it in because I don't feel like getting an extension cord. But I do have the rod put on the end of my roller if you're using epoxy in a fancier way, or you could just do what I said earlier, just put it on there and kind of keep it elevated. It might look a little runny at the end, but pretty much this just slowly rolls it, keeps it like that for probably only needs it for like 6 hours. So yeah, I'm gonna just keep doing this, keep this on. Well, not yet. I need to do the epoxy still, but pretty much get over here, set up for this. And I was kind of explaining what I said before. Just kind of evenly distribute both of these epoxies. So I don't really need that much. We'll do a little bit more. And the other one. Yeah, it's even. Alright, now that that's done, just stir it for like 2 minutes. Alright, so I got it mixed up. Now all I really do is get my little bit of epoxy. Just kind of let it roll around, and let the machine do it itself. See, like, that's what I'm saying, like, it'll start to bubble up at the bottom, or not bubble up, but it'll start to bunch up at the bottom, which is kind of what sucks about doing this, but when other people do it without rollers, it also really doesn't need to be perfect. Oh, it stopped rolling. See? I'm gonna have to go plug it in somewhere else. This portable thing doesn't work. I have to keep turning it on and off. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. Yeah, so just let it roll. Probably need to put a little bit more on there. I want to get in that string. Alright. Well, that's pretty much done to what I like. Set this aside. I'm just gonna put a little bit of heat to it because that's what you're supposed to do. Nothing too crazy. That's all you really need. That'll be good for it. Kind of help this little glob out, of course. Kind of move this little glob over. Yeah. So that's how you epoxy. That's pretty much it. Kind of just wait for it to harden up in like 6 hours, and I'll kind of show the final product by tomorrow. Alright, so some time has officially passed now, and I've got the pit tip right here. It looks nice. I've actually bent it, and it feels very sturdy. The thing with using the paper clip though is that metal does have memory, so if you bend it too much it'll kind of stay there, which kind of sucks, but it's kind of better than nothing. And also I tried to pull it apart. It's kind of hard to do with one hand, but you can't pull them apart. So yeah, that's what the end product looks like, and it makes me pretty happy that it turned out this way for the first time. Alright, well, thanks for watching my video. I hope you guys liked it and thought it was helpful. So yeah, if you liked it, like and subscribe if you want more. And also, I have another channel that I'm doing with my buddies. We do hunting and fishing. So if you guys want to check that out, you can. It's called Average Outdoorsman. I'll put a link in the description below. But yeah, so thank you again, and I'll see you guys in the next one.